Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Pulse 95.
Twitter verification is back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for a while now, Twitter has actually kind of disbanded or banned getting that blue check for a select number of people. For the public, it was kind of off limits. If obviously you were a celebrity of some type, you would get that blue check. But now it's back, and we're going to be telling you how to get that blue check for the people who always dreamed of having that blue identity verification badge on their profiles. And Twitter is opening account verification applications to the public, but it will be under new guidelines.
Yes, indeed. A lot of people were actually so excited that the blue check is back. They've been waiting for it for a very long time. They want to apply. They want to have that blue check on. But I don't really like the verification part of Twitter, because I feel like it gives people the authority to feel like whatever they're saying is 100% true, when sometimes it just isn't. But Twitter is definitely relaunching this program with new guidelines to make sure that anyone applying for that blue badge is worth of getting it. They've also been saying that there are going to be a lot of changes to the profiles and labels for who gets that blue check automatically and who doesn't. To be eligible for that blue check, you need to have an account of public interest that falls under one of 6 different categories, as well as have an authentic and notable and active account. So the 6 categories that we're looking at who are eligible for that Twitter blue check is if you're part of the government, so if you're a government official, if you're a company, a brand, or an organization, if you're a journalist or a news organization, if you have something included in entertainment, if you're a part of the sports and gaming industry, if you're an activist, an organizer, or any other influential individual.
Yes, now anybody will be able to verify by following a simple process through the account settings tab over the next few weeks. Now, after applying, Twitter does say users can expect a response within a few days, but that timeline could open up to a few weeks depending on the volume of those applications. Now, I would suspect it would take a couple of weeks because obviously a lot of people will now be applying, because for a while now, they did ban or they actually stopped taking in applications. And Twitter is actually one of the best platforms to kind of get in touch with your followers, as it is very, very, very interactive. And even Elon Musk interacts with his followers, and I think he's the second richest person in the world right now.
Yeah.
So just look at that. I mean, Twitter has opened a kind of a wavelength from followers and kind of talking to the people that they look up to. And in this case, we're talking about influencers, celebrities, people in sports or gaming, or even just a journalist in general.
Yes, indeed. And if you're wondering who is going to be giving that blue check, is it an AI? Is it a human being? Twitter did have all of our concerns. Rest assured that all these applications for the blue check will be evaluated by humans and humans only. If you get approved, then the blue check badge will actually appear on your profile automatically. If otherwise happens and you still feel like you could qualify for the verification but you did not get approved the first time, you can go ahead and reapply within 30 days after your first application. I think it's interesting. Would you like a blue check on your Twitter?
No.
No?
No, I wouldn't. My Twitter is personal. It is not something that I want people to actually. I'm not a source of information. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not an influencer. There is no reason for me to have a blue check.
But you are a journalist. You would qualify.
I would qualify for one, but I don't tweet anything that is related to journalism or to news.
True.
It's kind of like my personal. It's my personal platform.
Thoughts. Yeah. Now, back in 2009, Twitter actually tried to launch the verification program, and it failed because there were a lot of risks accompanied with relaunching this program. They had the issues of impersonation. A lot of people were creating accounts saying that they're someone, but they're really someone else. And the new verification policy was then reintroduced in the month of January of this year with 6 different categories that we've just mentioned for who is eligible for this blue check mark. It's very valuable to a lot of people. As per the January 2021 rules, accounts must have a verified verified email address or a phone number, a profile image, and a display name for you to be eligible for that blue check. Reports did also indicate that Twitter is planning to add more categories to those accounts who do get a chance to get the blue check. So if you're not one of the 6 categories that we've mentioned, no worries, because later this year, they're hoping to include scientists, academics, and religious leaders, which I think is just phenomenal, especially when we're talking about scientists and researchers. I think it would help people start learning more about the world of science and the world of tech if they do get that blue check.
And now, again, we do look at Twitter as a whole trying to kind of have something attractive to its followers. Once again, Twitter has been trying a lot. We've been talking about on the show for the past couple of months now how Twitter is trying to expand its platform to all users. And it really doesn't matter what you're doing right now. I mean, we were talking about the tip jar a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've already had that feature, and I went to a couple of profiles and I've seen it, and it's kind of dumb. I'll tell you that, because literally it's just a button that tells you, hey, if you want, you can go and give them on PayPal, right?
You can tip them for saying something cool.
Not even that. Literally, all it does is just link you to the person's PayPal. So like a window will come up. So if I put a link in my bio to my PayPal, it's literally the same thing. It's just now you just have a button now for it. So again, I don't know what Twitter is trying to do again. I mean, it could be. I mean, again, Twitter is not making any money out of this, the tip jar. It is going directly to that person's PayPal. So I don't know why Twitter would want to kind of opt for something like this.
They're trying to monetize the platform, but I just don't like how they're doing it.
You can't monetize the platform if you're not making money off of it. Twitter's making nothing off of it. So literally only the creators are making money, which is great. But again, I don't think anyone's just going to tip people using Twitter. That's just my idea. Maybe they researched about it. Obviously, these people are smarter than me, right? They are making, they're creating, and the creators of Twitter.
Yeah.
So let us know your guys' thoughts. I mean, for me, tip jars are kind of dumb.
I agree with you on that one. I do like that they're relaunching the Twitter verification process. Hopefully, it's going to be more objective.
It will probably be abused.
I hope not, especially because they're also going to be adding an About tab button. I love this button because now when people are verified, they get a chance to explain what makes them qualified to be verified. But at the end of the day, just having that blue check doesn't mean that this person, has a doctorate in whatever it is that they're saying.
But again, I mean, we're looking at Twitter going to be clarifying to these people that, hey, just because this person has a check, and this is where they are copying from Instagram. So if I, Hani, on Instagram have a blue check, it will state what I'm doing. Am I a journalist? Am I a gamer? Am I in sports? Am I a religious leader? Am I this, and that? And we will be seeing something like this on Twitter. For example, U.S. President Joe Biden, next to his name, is U.S. official government account. So we will be saying, for example, sports account, gaming account. We're going to be seeing something like this. So people don't just accept whatever this person is saying just because they're verified. For example, if I have a sports account right in my name and I'm talking about space, well, what gives me authorization to be talking about space when I have something called a sports account? Right?
Exactly.
You don't give a math teacher to talk about biology.
You're totally right about this one. Let us know your thoughts and if you would like that blue check on your Twitter account. Coming up on the show, we're talking about researchers creating one of the best inventions that could come in handy if you're living right here in the UAE. A t-shirt that can warm you up or cool you down based on what weather you are in.
Pulse 95.